Hello, welcome back to the channel. It is February. Deck of TBR went pretty good this past month, so we're gonna do it again. It is the 26th of January right now, so I have a little under a week to still read, but I wanted to tell you kind of how I did this past month, just as an FYI, because as a reminder, I don't really care whether I actually read these books or not. It's just to help me focus on like a stack of books so that I'm not just like overwhelmed by my TBR, and also to encourage me to read the books I actually own versus other books. So first things first, I read these three books in their entirety so far. So Butter Honey Pig Bread was the first book I read this year, and it was stunning. This is a book that I have been wanting to get my hands on for a while, and I loved it as much as everybody talks about it. So this is definitely a huge win for January. And then I did read Frederica next. It's kind of a chunky book, so it took me a good amount of time to read it. But I did read that one and I enjoyed it as well. And then the last one I just finished yesterday, was Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldree, and I liked this one not as much as Legends and Lattes, but it was good and cozy. So those are the ones I finished. Now I did start Requiem for the Massacre, and here's the thing about this book is like the first few pages are really engaging, and then it gets incredibly info dumpy. So it's just like at this time on this day this happened, and it's just like do. And so that is not very engaging. So obviously I didn't make it very far. However, I think that that is just to get through the story of like how the Tulsa Race Massacre went down. And I think once it gets past that, it's probably going to be less info dumpy and more like discussion and narrative based. So haven't fully lost like the drive to read this one. It just didn't happen this month for various reasons. So yeah, that one did not get read, but I did start it. And then I just started the Library of Legends last night. So I am only about 25 pages into this. But I do anticipate that I will either finish it by the end of the month or nearly finish it by the end of the month. So I think this one will happen. The only one that I didn't pick up was the Best of All Possible Worlds by Karen Lord. This one, I had both of these and I was like, all right, I'm going to read a chapter from each and then I'm going to decide. And I read the chapter from this one first, and then I was like immediately hooked, and I was like, this is in my these books will self-destruct pile. And Janie Chang is coming out with a new book this year with Kate Quinn that Becca from Becca Books and Bujo mentioned, and I want to read that book, but I've had this one on my shelf for a while. She actually has another book that came out maybe last year that I also haven't read, or maybe the year before. And I have kind of promised myself that I will read this one before I read any more Janie Chang. And I really want to read the one that she wrote with Kate Quinn. So I opted for this one, and I think it was a good decision, mostly because this one's been on my shelf the longest. And this one I am very excited about and is relatively new, so like I'm not worried about losing the excitement for that one. So that's where I stand in terms of the books from last month. So we're gonna jump into picking 5 books for this month, but I will note that after like a lot of deliberation, I decided against judging the first round of the BookTube prize. That didn't come lightly because I really loved the BookTube prize and I had a lot of fun last year, even though I wasn't a big fan of a lot of the books in the first round. But having only read 3 books in their entirety in January, I really wanted to give myself time to focus on my own TBR in the first quarter of the month, the year. So I anticipate I will participate in round 2, but definitely gonna play that by ear depending on just like how the year pans out. So there is that caveat. So BookTube prize has no effect on this essentially as of right now. All right, so gonna give these a little bit of a shuffle. And then I always see people do that thing where they like put them in their hand and then they do this, but like I'm not good at that. As you can tell, like I can't get, I don't know. Maybe my cards are too new. I'm not sure, or not slick enough. Whatever. The first card is gonna be, oh no. Oh no. It is the Ace of Clubs. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. So Ace is to draw from my TBR jar, which ultimately kind of works out because Kim from Tale of Two Trails just started the Tale of Two Trails battle. I'm on Team A. And one of Team A's prompts is to randomize your TBR, and then that would be the book for the month, for the prompt. So I guess we're just getting that out of the way. I don't love this though, because it takes all of the control out of my hands. So I've got, well, I guess I'll show you. I've got all of the book covers in here, with the exception of one. That I actually, there's I acquired 4 books this month. Those are not in here, which is fine, but I'm hoping to get one of those on my TBR this month. But anyways, let's just go ahead and put me out of my misery. Oh God, I don't. Oh. Okay, that could have been worse. It is, can you see that? It's The Witch King by Martha Wales. Wales? Why did I say that like that? The Witch King by Martha Wells, which is a fantasy book that came out last year. Let me grab it. Yeah, so it is a fantasy book by Martha Wells. Martha Wells wrote the Murderbot novellas and has written a lot of other things too. But this one's fantasy, not sci-fi. This was, as you can see by the press thing, was sent to me by Tor.com last year, and I haven't read it yet, so, you know, I'm really bad with, like, finished copies that get sent to me. Gotta get better about that. But yeah, so the first book on the list is Witch King, and potentially, as long as we don't get that, another ace, then this is going to be the book I read for that prompt for Tale of Two Trails too. All right, well, I don't have to replace anything because that prompt stays over there on the board, so I just have to shuffle to get our next one. Oh boy, do I hope no aces come up again, because I would like a little bit of control this month, especially since it's a pretty short month. So yeah, see what we got for book number 2. I genuinely thought that was another ace. So this is the 2 of Hearts. So 2 of Hearts is, oh, come on. Oh my goodness. The 2 of Hearts is to roll a die. January was too nice to me. Is that what happened? January was too nice to me. Okay, so then I'm gonna pick like 6 books, I guess, and then roll a 6-sided die, and whichever one we get. So let me do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, I have 5 books here. I'll put them here. The book number 6, so would be here, is an ebook. So it is The Pairing by Casey McQuiston, because as of today I just got an e-arc of that one, and what better book to read in February? Honestly, is there one? So I'm gonna roll this die and see what I get. Okay, so I got number 3. So 1, 2, 3. All right, so nice and short, which is excellent. I just bought this in December. This is The Private Lives of Trees by Alejandro Zambra. This one is translated from, it does not say. I want to say it was either Spanish or Portuguese. Yeah, it doesn't say what language. But this is about, he's like telling a bedtime story to his child while like waiting for his wife to come home, and then he like starts thinking about like what if she doesn't come home, and then there's something about trees. So yeah, this one I'm really excited to read in February. We need to replace that one. Well, I guess I need to put these back. I'm just setting them aside unless I get one of the prompts that I have to pick the shelf, and then I'll put them back where they go. Mood read, that's fun. All right, so let's put that one back in and give these a shuffle. Oh, yeah, this month is a little bit more chaotic than last month. Last month was very straightforward. All right, so pick number 3 is 3 of clubs. So the 3 of clubs, wait, is that clubs? Yes. No, spades. Oh my god, I do this all the time. Spades. 3 of spades. This game really said you're not gonna pick a single thing. So Instagram poll. So I'm gonna pick 2 books. I'll put them up on an Instagram poll. One of them is absolutely gonna be The Pairing by Casey McQuiston. And then I'll let Instagram decide. I would super duper duper like to pick my own book. So can I do that, please? Can I do that, please? let me replace that one. I will do the poll and then just pop in right here. Well, yeah, pop in right here what book I'm gonna be reading for this one. Slow paced is going there. All right, let's hope these cards can give me an actual choice in what book I read. All right, so we have, oh no, we're 3 of Hearts. So the 3 of Hearts, okay. We've got new to you author. So that one I actually get to choose. So give me a second, let me pick that one. All right, for new to you author, I'm gonna go with The House in the Orchard? Yes, The House in the Orchard by Elizabeth Brooks. I've never read anything by this author. And I think this is a thriller, maybe? I'm not sure. It was sent to me by Ten House, and I feel like there's like a dilapidated Old English estate, which is like a buzzword for me. If I hear old house, I'm in. So that's gonna be my book for author that I like, new to me author. So yeah, I'm excited to read that, and I think that's a good change of pace from what I've been reading this month and some of the other books on my TBR. The replacement up there, Queer Rep. And then this should be the last one. Unless we draw the Three of Hearts. All right, here we go. We have Two of Diamonds. Two of Diamonds. That is BIPOC rep. So yeah, the last two have been great. Nice to me. For BIPOC author, I'm gonna put The Romantic Agenda by Claire Kahn. This is another book that's on my These Books Will Self-Destruct list, and also, you know, a little romance in February, especially in case the Instagram poll, they don't vote on The Pairing by Casey McQuiston. So this one is, from what I remember, this is a romance book that has ace representation, and for some reason I think that it has like 27 Dresses vibe, or at least I read like the first chapter of it, and I got that vibe from it, but I've heard really good things about this. So yeah, I think this is a good one for February. I have these 4 books plus this book that Instagram chose, and I'm happy with this for how chaotic the choosing of this was. Thank you, all of the like roll a die, do a poll, pick randomly from your TBR jar, all of that. And I have at least one book that I can read and count towards 2 trails. The other 2 prompts for that I will have to think through, but I will do that on my own time. But yeah, I am pleased with that. I picked out some books on my TBR. Some of those I probably wouldn't have necessarily reached for right away, which is the point of this. So yeah, that's it. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye!